Hey folks, Chris Correa here. Today we're diving deep into the world of cryptocurrency. Big news coming out as Bitcoin has surged back above 67,000. Institutional investors are actually pouring hundreds of millions into spot Bitcoin ETFs, which could actually push Bitcoin to new record highs as early as next week. So this is not something that we could see in a few weeks, but this is something that's actually looking to start hitting Bitcoin and starting to hit these really high levels very, very soon. One analyst even sees it heading towards the all-time high. I actually go a little bit ahead of him, and I would say that I don't actually see it hitting the all-time high. I see it breaking the all-time high if things continue like this. So I did want to jump into this video and just kind of throw it out there and talk about what's going on with Bitcoin. Now, let's go ahead and break it down. Over the past week, more than 600 investment firms, including major banks like Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, they've revealed significant holdings in Bitcoin ETFs. Now, altogether, they own about 3.5 billion in these ETFs. The biggest player is the hedge fund Millennium Management with a whopping 1.9 billion invested. Millennium's portfolio includes 844.2 million in the BlackRock iShares Bitcoin Trust, 806.7 million in the Fidelity Wise Origin Bitcoin Fund, and 202 million in the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. They also have smaller investments in the ARK 21 shares Bitcoin ETF and also the Bitwise Bitcoin ETF. Nathan McCauley, the co-founder and CEO of Anchorage Digital, says traditional institutions are now part of the Bitcoin story. This is traditional institutional money. And recent 13F filings are actually proving this. The filings show that hedge funds, endowments, governments, pension funds are all driving hundreds of millions into Bitcoin ETFs. And McCauley actually expects even more institutions to join as Bitcoin liquidity increases. Now, speaking of inflows, spot Bitcoin ETFs have recorded 726.8 million in inflows just this week alone, marking 4 consecutive days of positive inflows. The Fidelity Wise Origin Bitcoin Fund led the pack with 245.1 million, followed by the ARK 21 shares Bitcoin ETF with 233.7 million. Since January 11th, total spot Bitcoin ETF inflows have reached 12.409 billion, with BlackRock iShares Bitcoin Trust leading at 15.596 billion in inflows. Now, there's so much money that's being pumped into these Bitcoin ETFs that the senior analyst at FX Pro believes that the surge in the inflows and the institutional demand could propel Bitcoin to test the record highs near around 74,000 or so next week. If cryptocurrencies get support from the global market and you see global risk appetite go up, we might even see Bitcoin exceed 70,000 over the weekend. Now, in other news, Coinbase got a boost on Friday as Bank of America upgraded the rating on them from underperform to neutral. The firm cited positive macroeconomic environment and greater operating leverage as the reasons for the upgrade. They also hiked the price target to 217 from 110. So that was good news. Now, this obviously made the stock go crazy. Coinbase jumped 4.9% and it's rallied about 17.5 so far this year. Now, speaking about the price action, Bitcoin climbed above 67,200 today on Friday, marking a 2% gain over the last 24 hours. It hit an all-time high, a new all-time high of 73,798 on March 14th. And since then, it's basically rallied nearly 11% just this week alone. If you look at this year, you're looking at almost up 151% this year. Last but not least, I want to also talk about MicroStrategy. Now, MicroStrategy holds about 13 billion worth of Bitcoin. The stock surged 8% on Friday. So the software company stock has rallied 32% just this week alone. after the reports that it's going to join the MSCI World Index at the end of this month. Now, to add to that, MSTR stock soared 148% year to date. So there's a lot of money, there's a lot of movement that's moving into Bitcoin, and this was a pretty substantial week. So there you have it, folks. The crypto world is buzzing with activity, and it looks like there's no slowing down. Make sure to stay tuned for more updates. I'm going to do a video once Bitcoin busts through the highs. I don't see it testing the highs. I see it going above those highs and making new highs if this kind of activity continues to go on in Bitcoin. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up, share it. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will be dropping more videos and more insightful content as we move forward. That being said, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you on the next one.